I'll give you mine. After a night of heavy drinking at the club social, my junior, who'd missed the last train, made this suggestion to me. To be honest, the proposal was tempting. I wanted it so bad I could taste it. She dangled it right in front of me. It would be impossible not to get excited. I lost all sense of reason to her offer. My name's John. I'm a junior in college, just your average guy, or at least that's what I pretend to be. Ever since I was young, I've been a huge fan of video games and comics, what you'd call a geek, especially hooked on this one particular game. I'm so into it that I even have its action figures on display. It's a famous RPG series abroad, and I've played all the way up to its 14th title. I particularly love the 7th title, to the point where I have every character's figure displayed on my shelves. But out of all, there's this one heroine, a graceful lady skilled in martial arts, who might as well be my first love. I'm head over heels for her. But my obsession means I've bought not only her figures but keychains, posters, and even a body pillow. To outsiders, I'm probably just another creepy geek. I'm definitely one. I know that. That's why I tried to blend in at college, making some friends, engaging in some social activities. I'm worried that I'll be suspected of being a geek if I don't join a circle and go home immediately. By the way, the main reason I'm so cautious about revealing my geeky side is because of a past experience where I was dumped and ostracized after being outed as a geek. John, you're such a geeky gamer. Get real. Those words from my ex-girlfriend still haunt me. Why does everyone think geeks can't face reality? I believe it's wonderful to appreciate and support what or who you love, even while acknowledging reality. But society can be tough on geeks, so I pretend to be just another college student. The club I joined is a fashion and craft club. It's mainly focused on creating clothes and accessories. It might sound girly, but surprisingly, there are a lot of guys. I joined because I wanted to make clothes for my favorite plush toys. Most members prefer to work quietly, which suits me. That's what I thought. Then, my peaceful routine was disrupted by a new member. I first noticed that junior when I was in my junior year. A new girl joined our club. Her name was Madison. Madison was as cute as her name suggests, with a ponytail that suited her so well. And she had quite the figure. You know the term bombshell? Well, that was her. She had a large bust, a toned stomach, and a big behind. She resembled the character I adore in terms of physique, although their hairstyles were different. If that character existed in real life, she would have probably looked like Madison. That's why I was sort of interested in her, but unfortunately, her personality was very different. While my favorite character is somewhat feisty, Madison is many times more so. She might be what some call she's hot and cold, but to me, she only has the cold part and none of the hot. You're making clothes for stuffed animals again. Why don't you add more frills or something? I don't need frills. It doesn't suit this type of stuffed animal. It's not about what suits or doesn't, isn't it, just because you're bad at adding frills? She always teases me like this. I could tolerate just that, but she seems to be a pretty active woman, always planning various events, like socials or outings. I've declined all of them, but surprisingly, many people attended. Because of her initiatives, she's become the center of attention in our club. It's surprising how well she gets along with people, even though she has this kind of vibe, but observing closely, Madison seems to get along pretty well with other guys. She'd laugh, compliment, and even crack jokes with them. But not with me. With me, it feels more like she's mocking or pointing out my mistakes. The way she acts around me is so different from others that I can't help but feel she dislikes me. If she didn't like me, I'd prefer she keep her distance, but she keeps getting involved. I especially tried to avoid their socials because I knew it would be even worse. You'll come to the next gathering, right? No, I'm not going to. It's close to your place and I've even counted you in for the reservation. Please come. She forced me on the spot with that. I was taken aback by this. If the reserved number of people don't show up, the restaurant's food will go to waste. It's a hassle for the restaurant staff, and the attendees were expecting me to come, so backing out now seemed almost impossible. Sighing, I reluctantly decided to attend the gathering. As expected, when I went to the gathering, I just sat at a corner table sipping on my drink, watching everyone else having a blast. Right in the middle of the yapping was Madison, and she looked somewhat endearing when she was caught up in the fun. But she's the polar opposite of the kind of character I like. I can't help but wish, maybe if she was a bit more demure. I guess that's why my ex-girlfriend used to tell me I'm out of touch with reality. But daydreams are just daydreams. I don't let them affect my real life. Lost in such self-justifying thoughts, time flew by, and I mean really flew. I had missed the last train. But it wasn't just me who missed it. It was Madison too. Turns out, the train connections to her house weren't great. She checked the schedule, thinking she had enough time, only to find out that there were no more trains. Oh man, I forgot about the transfer because this wasn't my usual station. Madison, well, she might seem all put together, but she has her moments of absent-mindedness. Every now and then, she makes silly mistakes. I've seen her mix up thread colors on her sewing machine, but missing the last train. That really hurts. Around this station, there aren't many hotels, and taking a cab to where there's one would certainly hurt the wallet. Also, I used to live in an apartment far from the university because the rent was cheaper. Meaning, around my place, Madison didn't have any friends, no one to take her in for the night. Hey, you live nearby, right? Can I crash at your place? Sure enough, Madison came up with that request. No way. And I immediately shut her down. I really don't want her finding out I'm a geek. Beyond that, letting a woman into my room makes me think twice. Not that I have any ulterior motives, but it's Madison we're talking about. If she, popular not just in our club, but all over the campus, spreads the word that he's head over heels for a video game character, my college life would be over. With no other option, I, who wasn't that drunk yet, tried to find a hotel with vacancies, but they were all booked. Why does it always happen like this? I thought, weighing my options. Do I risk exposing my geeky side and let her stay, or do I leave her be? Actually, there wasn't a choice. Madison is beautiful. And I can't just leave her out here, intoxicated as she is. If I did, I'd lose something fundamental about being human. I just couldn't do that to her. I'll let you stay, but don't go snooping around my room too much. Do you have some adult magazines or something? No, I don't. Joking like that, we began walking. Luckily, my place is really nearby, so even a tipsy Madison could make it there. I guess I've got no choice but to bite the bullet now. Reluctantly, I let Madison into my room. Every nook and cranny of my room is filled with action figures, merchandise, posters, and some slightly nasty wall art. Honestly, I wouldn't want to let any girl see this mess. It's pretty awkward. I thought about tidying up beforehand, but there's just too much stuff to hide, so I had to give up on that idea. I was certain Madison would mock me, saying things like, "You've got so many girl action figures, it's kinda creepy," or "Oh wow, so making outfits for plush toys was your hobby, huh?" But to my surprise, oh, is that T from the Final Fantasy series? By the way, this series is a game title, and T is my favorite character from it. Wait, you know it? I don't just know it, I absolutely love it. Especially Final Fantasy VII. Oh my, you have the main character's action figure too. I adore this character. Madison's eyes were shining like I'd never seen before. Those eyes, they were definitely the eyes of a geek. I knew because I'm one of them too. And she seemed to be quite the hardcore fan. I missed out on that figure in the draw. I'm so jealous you have it. I just got lucky. The odds were really against me. Wait, Madison, you're a geek too. I was taken aback by this surprising side of her. She blushed and hesitated a bit. Yeah, I am. But you know, nobody around me plays games, and I can't really talk geek stuff with non-gamers, so I kept it to myself. It's nice to find someone with the same interests. Where did that usual cheeky Madison go? Seeing her slightly embarrassed smile was quite the contrast. I'm not into hot-cold personality, but there's something about that gap in personality. As I was lost in thought, Madison began looking around my room. This poster of T is so cute, and you have so many cool merchandise, but there's one thing that's a bit disappointing. She was excitedly looking around my room when suddenly, her eyes fixed on me with a stern look. Did I do something? I thought, tilting my head. Madison then pointed at my figure shelf with a snap. The way you've arranged these figures is so messy. We can't see the T in the back. To be called out for my figure layout was unexpected, and I was left dumbfounded. Truth be told, I don't really have a knack for displaying figures. I just kind of placed them there. I didn't expect Madison to critique it. You should use a stand to elevate them like this. Oh, really? Yes. It's such a waste when you have all these cute figures and they are not displayed properly. Madison pouted as she said this, and her expression looked so much like T's that I couldn't help but laugh. Why are you laughing? It's just, you kind of looked like T just now. Really? Yay. I love T because she's so cute, so that's a huge compliment. Madison's genuine excitement was quite adorable. I often wished she was like this all the time, but apparently, when she gets as excited as she was today, she tends to speak fast or gets carried away with the conversation, so she usually tries to control her tone. Actually, I've always thought the clothes you make for the plushies would look cute on a T plushie. I was being careful not to sound too geeky, but it ended up sounding harsh. I'm sorry. It seems she was trying to be considerate in her own way, and it wasn't that she disliked me. Knowing this put me at ease, and I felt we could become good friends from now on. Just as I had this thought, I glanced at the clock and realized it was already late into the night. Staying up any later would make tomorrow tough. Maybe we should call it a night. Yeah. Oh wait, isn't today the announcement for the limited T figure draw? Madison's reminder brought it back to my mind. The results for the exclusive figure draw are due at midnight. It seems Madison had entered the draw as well, so we both checked our emails. And the result was, I didn't win. What a bummer. Frustrated, I slammed my fist on the floor. I really wanted that figure, but if you don't win the draw, you can't even buy it. I definitely don't want to buy it from a scalper, so I guess I have to wait for another chance. As these thoughts filled my head, Madison said, I actually won. Seeing my despair, Madison whispered, looking somewhat apologetic. Wait, what? I couldn't help but stare at the email she showed me. The email confirmed her win. Why did she win, and not me? It's not like I love T any less. A pathetic sense of jealousy welled up within me, and I didn't know where to look. Because if I look at Madison now, I might end up giving her a weird, envious stare. John. What? If you want, I can give you my winning ticket. Wait, what? I ended up repeating myself, but I eagerly asked Madison about her offer. Madison replied with a smile. You should be the one to get it since you're a bigger fan of T. Plus, consider it a thank you for letting me stay over. Are you serious? Thank you. Please let me have it. I felt as if an angel had descended upon me and was so grateful to Madison. Being a fan without many like-minded friends, I rarely get such help. In my overwhelming emotion, I even got on my knees to thank her right then and there. I was so thrilled about getting the T figure that I couldn't contain my excitement. Seeing me like that, Madison laughed and said, "But there's a catch. A catch. Come with me to the next Final Fantasia event." Even though she said it was a thank you, Madison was inviting me to a big event that was about to take place. Apparently, she was too shy to go alone, but really wanted to attend and was looking for someone to accompany her. "I know you well enough, and I think we'd have a great time chatting." Smiling, Madison made me an offer I couldn't refuse, all for the sake of the figure. Over the next few months, my relationship with Madison underwent a drastic change. To be honest, I was thrilled to have a fellow geek as a friend. Being passionate about something and sharing it with someone is just so much fun. Madison and I attended events together frequently. She'd even come over to my place to play video games. She'd help rearrange my figure displays, which I greatly appreciated. "I'll keep helping with your displays since you're so hopeless at it. I'm counting on you." By the way, I've been to her place too. Her figures and stuffed animals were neatly arranged, and it genuinely surprised me. She had a sense of style that I lacked, and it made me see a different side of her. By discovering new sides of each other, we began to respect each other even more as individuals. Before I knew it, Madison became my wife. We spent so much time together, going on dates while calling it fan activities. We probably went on more dates than most couples. Of course, we both understood each other's fan activities. Whether we were attending events together or one of us couldn't make it, we'd cheerfully send the other off. We each had our favorite characters, but we trusted each other as future partners. I'm glad we missed the last train that night. Today, while playing a game together, Madison mentioned that, "Indeed, if we hadn't missed that train, we might not be together like this." Life is unpredictable. You never know what might set things in motion. But whatever the reason, if I am happy with the life that has come to me, I want to cherish that happiness forever. People might laugh at our geeky hobbies, but in a way, they were the connection that brought Madison and me together. Without our shared interests, we wouldn't have become a couple, let alone husband and wife. That's what I now wear my hobbies with pride. Lost in these thoughts, Madison unleashed her special move, and I lost the game. Honestly, I can never beat Madison, not in real life nor in games. While it's frustrating to lose, seeing Madison cheerfully exclaiming, "Yes, I won," makes it somewhat okay.